Hey Stampers, Kim from StampingImperfection.com. Welcome to my craft room. I wanted to share a very quick masculine card that I made. It's pretty plain and simple. It's just quick and easy. Kind of a nice like masculine thank you card to have. I'm using the Hello Lovely stamp set that's in the new Stampin' Up! Annual catalog. I'm using Early Espresso cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11. I scored it at 5 1/2 and folded it using my bone folder. I'm going to put that aside. I also cut a piece of Sierra sand at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and then I ran it through my wood grain embossing folder with my Big Shot. And I'm going to actually use the front of it is actually the Stampin' Up! Part. So I want that where it says Stampin' Up! Is the front, and that's the raised part, the embossed side. So I want to use that side. And I want to give it a little bit more dimension. So I'm actually going to, just very quickly, since this is Sahara Sand, I'm going to use Sahara Sand ink. And I'm just going to sponge over the top of that very lightly. I'm not pushing down hard because I only want to get the embossed parts. There are lots of different ways that you could do this. I'm choosing sponging because it's quick and easy. And I don't want it to be too dark. You could use your brayer. You could use ink on the embossing folder before you emboss it, and that'll ink it up and emboss it at the same time. So there are lots of different ways to do that. That's very quick and easy. Okay, I've got a piece of Early Espresso that I cut out using my Apothecary Accents, and then I used the Essentials paper piercing pack and my paper piercing mat and paper piercing tool and pierced around it. And I also pierced a hole in each of the ends. I'm going to put one of these new Candy Dots brad bases. I'm going to put those in each of these holes. And I'm going to bend them so that they're separated, but they both bend back like that toward the center, because the brad legs are a little bit too long, and if I try to bend them in opposite directions, one will be beyond the edge of the framelit here that I've cut out. So I'll just bend it like this, just like that. Okay, now I've stamped my sentiment in Early Espresso ink on Very Vanilla. I cut it out with my paper snips, put 2 Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Just going to pop that up and center it in my framelit. I'm going to take 2 candy dots, and I want to use the Sahara Sand candy dots. These candy dots are from the Neutrals collection, so I'm just going to take 2. Another little tip is I like to use my paper piercing tool for this. It makes it easy. They stick to the paper piercing tool. Oops. And it's easy to get it, usually easy to get it in the center. When I'm not reaching around a tripod, it's easy. There you go, just like that. Now before I add that to my card, I want to take a piece of this natural linen trim, this right here, and I cut it like maybe 1 inch bigger. I cut it at maybe 5 inches, and I'm just going to put a glue dot on each end like this, and then I'm going to wrap the ends around my card, the ends with the glue dots, and I'm going to attach the glue dots to the back like that. So it's attached to the back. And since it's a masculine card, I really love this linen thread. I'm going to wrap this around 3 times and tie a knot. I like the linen thread a lot with the natural trim. I think they're a really fun look. Okay, and I'm just going to cut it off, tie a knot. Okay, you can trim that up. Then I'm going to add glue dots to my framed sentiment, one on each end. You can play around with this linen thread. I'm going to kind of center this in the card like that. And then I'm going to use some of my liquid glue on the back, just a really thin strand around. And I'm going to add this to my card base, my early espresso card base. Whoops. Might need another glue dot there. Just like that. Press everything down, just like that, and you have a quick and simple masculine thank you card. You could add other things to it, like naturals buttons. You could add some more candy dots in one of the corners if you wanted to, but I was just trying to keep it very quick and simple. Thanks for watching. Check out my blog at stampingimperfection.com. Shop for your supplies at mystampingstore.com. Thanks for watching.